just watched Gabby's vlog, and she was talking about how self-conscious she was feeling about it, and how she didn't know how to do it, and she was wondering how I did it. And I'm not sure if you expected a response, but here it is. I am going to talk about like my experience as an introvert, and then I'm going to tell you guys about how I go about making a blog, and maybe it'll help people. I don't know, but here you go. So first I'm going to tell you guys about how I'm an introvert, and I know it kind of seems weird that I'm an introvert, but I actually am. Like, I like hanging out with you guys, and I like hanging out with people and meeting people. Like, I enjoy that, but I need time to myself, and I get super drained when I go out and meet people. And that's according to Gabby's definition, which I'm following, is an introvert is someone who gets drained when being around other people and gains energy from being by themselves, which is exactly how I am. So the thing is, oof, that was a really awkward wording. Anyway, the thing is, you can be super introverted and need time by yourself to gain energy, but you don't have to be self-conscious and shy to go along with that. And that's where the other point Gabby brought up comes in, where maybe optimism and self-consciousness are like related. And I think that kind of makes sense to me because I'm super optimistic. Like, I think that in the future everything's gonna work out. I have no qualms about qualms. Ooh, I like that word. Anyway, I have no qualms about, like, no worries about the future, and I know that everything's gonna be alright. And I know that to other people that seems like a really weird way to look at the world, but I've had no reason to think differently, luckily enough. So that's how I think. And that helps me with my self-consciousness because I think, hey, um, when I go out and do something, it's all gonna work out. I have people to support me. It's not gonna affect my future any run way because, you know, everybody makes mistakes. Other people understand that everybody makes mistakes. And therefore, there's no reason to be self-conscious because regardless of what I do, everything will be okay. What I do doesn't affect the overall, like, long run outcome of the world. So that's kind of how I look at the world. So that's why, like, making a vlog doesn't matter to, like, I'm not so worried about it because I know that when you guys watch my vlog, you guys are going to watch it and you're not going to judge me. Like, I don't think you're going to judge me. You might judge me, but that's not how I think. I don't judge other people, so I just assume other people aren't going to judge me, right? So that's just like a summary of how I view the world. You guys probably all know this. But, so, Gabby's situation it's probably a lot different because she's super self-conscious and she's always apologizing, which, Gabby, you should not do. Never apologize for being shy and self-conscious because it's just the way you are, and you're actually working towards getting better. So there's nothing to apologize for. Like, it was my choice to watch your vlog, so you don't have to apologize to me that I made that choice, right? So, I don't know if that made any sense at all, but I'm just gonna move on and talk about how I go about making a vlog. So, like, this is literally what I did to start this vlog, which is why I made it into a vlog format so that I can see exactly what I do. So the first thing I did was to think of what I'm going to talk about. So my inspiration this time came from Gabby's video. Sometimes something happens to me, or I think of like a revolutionary idea in class or something, and I think of making a blog for it. Like, whatever, just think about it for a good, like, 5 minutes at least. I only thought about this for 5 minutes because it was kind of, I thought about it while doing the vlog too, right? But just really think about what you're going to talk about, right? This is kind of similar to how I go about writing an essay. So, this can help you write your essays too, I guess. Then, after I think about what I'm going to talk about, I write my ideas down in a Word doc and try to put it in the order that I'm going to talk about it. For a vlog, that's much easier than for an essay because essays have to be like supported by like evidence and shit. So, but regardless, I can post up my written up notes onto the blog so you can see what I did. But yeah, I wrote down everything I'm going to talk about, and it's open on my screen right now so that I can keep referencing it. And after I write it all down in a Word doc, what I do is I find a fun background. Like right now, my fireplace is behind me because I thought, hey, fireplaces are cool, and I was also kind of cold, so fireplace, right? So I find a fun background, and I'm wearing a funny hat today because it just makes me feel better. I don't know. It makes, like, if you're bored by what I'm talking about, you can look at my hat. See, isn't it cute? My grandma made it for me. It's adorable. It was supposed to be a bear, but it kind of looks like a beaver. Beaver? It does not look like a beaver. I do not want to wear a beaver hat. It looks like a beaver. Like, those ones that eat trees. Yeah. So, I wear a fun hat, and I usually put on a bit of makeup, like a little bit of lip gloss, because I feel like I look too pale without makeup on. But you guys don't have to do that. I like make sure my hair kind of looks nice. I put on a nice shirt. It just helps me with my self-confidence when I think I look good on the outside. Just personally, I do everything I need to do to make myself feel comfortable in the environment I'm going to be talking about. The other thing I do is I make sure my mom's not home because I just always find it really awkward talking to my computer while my mom's home. When nobody's home, I'm just like, hey, whatever. Nobody knows that I'm being a really big weirdo. So, that's another thing. And also, the other thing I do with the whole not feeling like a weirdo talking to myself is I pretend I'm talking to you guys. That's why I usually refer to you guys and don't like call you by name that much unless I'm specifically talking about someone like I was with Gabby. So that's also really, really helpful when I pretend I'm talking to you guys like directly. And the next thing I do, right before I even start talking to you guys, it's really, really important, okay? This is like super important for making sure the rest of your vlog goes really well, is I clear my throat. I cough like crazy and make sure there's nothing in my throat because you've been sitting there thinking and you haven't been talking probably, and your voice is going to crack the first time you talk, and that's going to freak you out. So, I always clear my throat before I start talking, get all the spit and gunk out of my mouth. I drink some water, some juice or something, just get emotionally and physically and mentally prepared for what I'm about to do. Okay, so up to this point, I haven't even started talking yet. Alright, so the next thing I do is I make up a beginning, and the beginning is always its own like little clip where I just say like, hi guys, this is what I'm going to talk about. It's kind of like, your introduction and you say like your thesis, but it's just really helpful to make sure your blog's pretty organized and is fun for everyone. At least I think so. And after that, I just talk randomly about the points that I decided I'm going to talk about. Right? So when you see like what I had planned out, what I say doesn't always completely match what I wrote down because I think of new things while I'm talking. But I find that's a lot more interesting than just, having a script ready. And one thing I forgot to talk about, now that I'm looking at my script, is that when you set up your angle, you have to make sure that you like your angle, and then you never look at your face again. I'm pretty bad at this. You have to look at the camera because, eye contact, right? I'm really bad with eye contact in general, so I find this really important. And the reason I just noticed this is because I looked at myself in the little video thing. If you can hide that, try to. But, just make sure you don't look at yourself. Look at the camera. Pretend you're talking to, like, Wally or something. My camera looks like Wally, so that's what I'm pretending to do. Side note. So, after you make up your beginning and you talk randomly about the topic, right? So, what you're doing when you're randomly talking is when you finish a section or when you feel really awkward and you don't know what to say next, you just stop it, and then you start a new video. You like hype yourself up again, just like I talked about like clearing your throat, drinking some water, right? Thinking about what you're gonna talk about before you say it, but not like to the point where you know it word for word, because if you don't say it the way you thought you were gonna say it, then you'll be disappointed. So just have no expectations of exactly what you're gonna say. Just say it, and it should work out. At least that's what I did. And then after you feel like you've done everything that you were going to talk about, you're going to make an ending, which I haven't done for this one yet. What you do is you stop the last random rant thing, that clip that you've made, and you say like bye, or like do like a really weird, like, I don't know, be moose or something. You know, do something fun at the end to just end it all off. If you want, you can talk about what you just talked about, like a conclusion thing, but I don't feel that's very necessary for a vlog. Maybe you want to put every, like, one main thing that you want your viewers to have gotten from your video at the end. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet because I haven't done it yet, but, you know, just make one clip that's your ending separate from everything else, okay? And then after you do that, you watch all the videos in order, okay? And then, as you're watching them in order, you see if the order makes sense, okay? So, if for example you talked about something in the beginning that really should have been at the end, just move it. That's what's nice about having it in clips, right? And if you feel anything is off topic, like you shouldn't have talked about it, just cut it out. That's the nice thing, just cut it out. Leave it out. If there's like a big long pause, just get rid of that. Just throw it away, right? You know, sometimes you feel like, oh, man, I did all that work to talk about that and like record that. Maybe I should just keep it in. But if it's not like interesting and funny, and if it's just making like your video awkward, just the same as in an essay, just take the whole paragraph out. Take the whole video out. Just take the whole section out, because it'll just make your whole video better in general. And then what you do is you publish it like you always do. I feel like you guys know how to publish things, don't you? But like, you go like publish movie on like Movie Maker, which is what I'm using. And then you upload it to YouTube and you forget about it. You just don't think about it. You do something else, right? If you want specific people to see it, you tell those specific people to see it, but then you just forget about it. Don't even think about what people are thinking about your video. Don't look at the comments right away. Like, not like we get that many comments, but, just ignore it, forget about it. Just like in a paper, you just forget about it, and you just stop thinking about it. I'm really bad at this personally. I just start thinking about all the things that I could have done better, especially for papers. But it's very important that you forget about it, because you can't change it after you post it, so there's no point in worrying about it. So, to conclude, that's how I make a vlog personally, in my way. But, like, the important thing to realize when you're making any piece of work, really, not just a vlog, is that the people who are going to watch it are not the kind of people that's going to judge you in any, like, integral way of, like, who you are. It's just they're going to judge the piece of work that you've created, right? Even if there are imperfections, like, there are so many imperfections, like, did you listen to what I just said there? Anyway, even though there are going to be imperfections, as there will always be imperfections, it's important to know that imperfections make things interesting. To recap, this is how I make a vlog, and imperfections are super cool and funny, and just don't worry about them. And the more you work and the more you try and the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. So don't give up before you've even started. Ta-da! Bye-bye! So, to wrap everything up, what I want to say is just I don't know what I want to say. Give me a sec. I'm gonna think about this for a bit. Oh my god, this is bad. I can't do this. Okay. Wait, what? No. Phew! Interesting. I don't know if this makes any sense. That's like the end of this like section, so I'm gonna stop.